No one, though, contested the facts of what we said. In fact, later in the show, one of those same hosts admitted that, in fact, women do strongly prefer marrying men who make more than they do. So it's true, but it's not on the list of approved talking points, so it can't ever be said out loud. Those are the rules, and anyone who violates those rules must be punished. This is very common, and if you're wondering how we wound up in the dark age we're currently living through, this is how we did. This is why important science is no longer being conducted. This is why art isn't being made. This is why comedy is dying. It's why people aren't thinking for themselves anymore, which means the end of creativity. It's why the rest of us stand by like cowards as the innocent are punished for crimes they didn't commit, because we're all terrified. We're terrified of being denounced by some mindless ideologue on TV, or shamed and ostracized on social media for stepping out of line, or silenced completely by some big tech firm. A mob of angry children is suddenly in charge of the country. These aren't people seeking a revolution. They're fighting for the status quo to protect their own status. They're drunk on power, and they're looking for new people to hurt. Someday, we're going to look back on this moment with shame and horror. But in the meantime, we should remember that terror only works if we play along with it. So what if we decided not to? What if all of us decided to tell the truth about something every day in public? What would happen then? What could they do about it? They can't punish everybody. We're the majority. Let's try that. We're starting tonight with Heather McDonald. She's a fearless person, a fellow at the Manhattan Institute, and the author of the book, The Diversity Delusion, How Race and Gender Pandering Corrupt the University and Undermine Our Culture. And she joins us tonight. Heather, thanks very much for coming on. So my theory is that when you say the true things, people get outraged. So, hurt dog barks. But just to be clear, as a social scientist yourself, I hope you'll confirm for our audience that this is not a controversial statement, that male employment and wages directly affect the marriage rate, do they not?
Well, first of all, Tucker, I want to commend you for making the breakdown of marriage a central focus of your show. There's no bigger social catastrophe of our age than the fact that more and more children are being raised without their fathers. And the elites understand that. Marriage has not disappeared from the elites.
That's for sure.
And yet they are absolutely unwilling to send the message that fathers are as important to their children as mothers. Their tongues are tied. They refuse to say it. It's one of those truths that, again, is being completely denied by elite culture. Why? Because it violates the feminist nostrum that strong women could do it all. Now, you're right that there's an economic component to this, and most famously, William Julius Wilson explained the drop in marriage among the black community as a result of jobs leaving the Midwest. And he said that the male unemployment decreases females' willingness to marry. But I think you also have to look at a culture explanation, because I remember being taken around in a ride-along by a Chicago cop, a very handsome man, solid job, good pension to look forward to. He had fathered several children out of wedlock. Why? Because the marriage norm had simply disappeared from the black community. So I think this is a cultural matter as well. It's a product, to a certain extent, of the feminist attack on males. We are living through a period where males are being constantly disparaged as simply the source of evil in our world. And they are responding tragically by withdrawing from competition, taking their marbles and going home. And that is leaving us all at greater risk.
And in some cases, taking their own lives, I would say.